Good morning, welcome to the channel today. During this boring time of international football break, I thought it would be a good time to have a look at some of the upcoming fixtures and in particular the, excuse me, jam-packed, busy, intense, non-stop football month that is going to be April in the Premier League, and particularly for the top four race, if you like. I'm going to be talking about how important is it that we get Champions League this year. And the key words in that sentence or in that question is this year. Personally, I believe it is not completely imperative. I've seen Newcastle journalists, prominent Newcastle fans, people on really well-known and respected influential channels saying it is absolutely imperative that we get Champions League this year. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. If we're going to be following that, we have to win the Premier League within 5 years, and we're already 1 year into it. Maybe, but let's be honest. That is nothing wrong with having that as an ambition, as a target, as a drive. But that should not be something that we have to guarantee. There should be no pressure on that. Prior to the season starting, with all the positivity, the signings of Isak, of Botman, of Nick Pope, Matty Target obviously being finalised, or extended I should say, signed permanently, I would have been happy with 8th. I saw, excuse me, tickly throat. I saw the Europa Conference League as something maybe to aim for. No, I know you've obviously got to be in, is it 7th place for that? And Europa League would have been a massive bonus. The fact that we've been sat in 3rd and 4th position for the majority of the season, we have been spoiled. There's no two ways about it. Let's not rush it is what I'm saying. Let's grow naturally, organically. I know the squad is crying out for reinforcement in terms of we've got a cracking first 11, but and you look to the bench, if certain players are injured, we are somewhat struggling. Against Forest, for example, we had, okay, so Anthony Gordon's injured. Mickey was injured. So that's two high-profile, wide attackers injured. But we had Maxi, Murphy and Isak in our front three. And you look to the bench, obviously Callum Wilson's on the bench as a cracking reinforcement. But on the bench there was Elliot Anderson. From an attacking point of view, Elliot Anderson, Callum Wilson and Matt Ritchie. Callum Wilson is a bit out of form at the moment, but he's a Premier League striker, there's no two ways about it, he has been for years. Matt Ritchie, personally, I love the guy, but I think he's finished at Premier League level. And then you've got finished, it's a bit harsh, but you know what I'm getting at. Then you've got Elliot Anderson, who was completely unproven, although he came on and made the difference and did really well. But I think what I'm trying to say is if we get Champions League, it's going to be too soon. Too soon in terms of the fixture congestion. Because let's be honest, there's 3 key factors why we've made such a good push for top 3, top 4 this season. 1, our form's been class. We've been unbelievable. Our defence has been fantastic. So our performance as a first. Secondly, the complete drop-off of the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea, who you would have put your money on to occupy, I don't know, Liverpool, you might have fancied them to be 2nd to City, Chelsea maybe 3rd or 4th. And thirdly, no Europe. All right, we had a really good go in the Carabao Cup. We got to the final, so we played every game we could have. And some games went longer, or I say longer, penalty shootouts, but yeah. But no Europe. So next season, we're going to be pushing in the FA Cup. We're going to be obviously playing every game in the Premier League. We're going to be pushing in the Carabao Cup. And then we've got Europe on top of that. You know, playing Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, etc. If we get in the Europa League, it's going to be Thursday, Sunday. That's a lot. So with the squad as it is currently, I think it's too soon. Obviously, we've got the summer to reinforce, but I'm hearing different things. FFP is going to play a massive factor in constraints, etc. If that's the case, it's going to be too soon, I think. I don't think it's that imperative to get Champions League to attract the top players. We've attracted the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Kieran Trippier when we were dead, pretty much, in a relegation zone. When the club had literally the only bright light, the club had just been taken over and we just got Eddie Howe in. That was it. Whereas now, we're well established as one of the better teams in the Premier League. Players and agents are going to be looking at our body of work over a season and go, this team's going places. Maybe not as fast as some people want, but this team's going places. Now that sounds ridiculous because we are ahead of schedule. What I'm saying is there's no need, that this trajectory, in my opinion, does not need to be maintained in that steep upward curve. It can stabilise a little bit, you know. There is no rush. Players are still going to want to come play for us. Like I said, if Bruno and Trips wanted to come over when we were in a relegation zone, if we get 6th, 5th, it's unbelievable. If we don't make the Champions League, top players are still going to want to come and play for us. I would have been happy with 8th prior to the season starting. To me, that was 7th, 8th was progress, steady. We're going in the right direction. Would it be amazing if we get Champions League? Yes. I just think if we get Champions League, we need to have a big summer, else we will not cope. You'll probably see us finish. We will not finish as high next season as we do this season if we don't have a big summer, because, like I said, we'll have to sacrifice one of the cups, possibly both. But playing, you know, Champions League, even if we don't make it out the group stage, that's what, 6 extra games. You got the travel on top of that. You know, we need to have a big summer, else we're gonna struggle in Europe. The fixture congestion is then going to have an effect on us in the Premier League, and you might see us drop down the table a bit. But fantastic to see us so successful. Fantastic to see us so difficult to beat. I love the new mentality. I love the attitude of the players. It's amazing. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I want us to get Champions League. My heart does, but my head's like, perhaps we're not ready for it yet. So, but I've got no complaints whatsoever. We're doing amazing this season, and I'm so proud of this team. So, who's going to get in the top 4? I think it's safe to say City and Arsenal will occupy the top 2 places. Manchester United are in 3rd at the moment. I'm not going to include them in this little breakdown I've done. But I think there could be scope for them to be sucked into 4th. But I think either way, Man United are nailed on for top 4. 3rd or 4th, I don't know. So, we're looking at Spurs, Newcastle, Liverpool and Brighton. Just going to go through not the next 3 games, but the April fixtures for these 4 teams, because April is a hell of a congested month. You know, Liverpool and Newcastle are playing 7 games in April. So, at the minute, let's go through the standings. Spurs are in 4th place, 28 games played, 15 wins, 4 draws, 9 losses, a goal difference of 12, 49 points. Newcastle sitting in 5th, played 26, so we have 2 games in hand over Spurs, won 12, drawn 11, lost only 3. Goal difference of 20, 47 points. So we've got 2 games in hand over Tottenham. Don't always necessarily equate to 6 points, but we've got 2 chances of points over Tottenham, but only two points behind. So we could win a game, lose a game, and we're 1 point ahead of them if things carry on in this current trend. Liverpool, 6th place, 26 games played, 12 wins, 6 draws, 8 losses, 18 goal difference of 18. Which is obviously massively inflated because of that Man U result. 42 points. Then you've got Brighton, 7th place, 25 games played. So they got 3 games in hand over Spurs. 12 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses, goal difference of 15, 42 points. So they're level on points with Liverpool. 5 points behind us and 7 behind Spurs. It's looking pretty good for us, really. Like I said, we've got a nice little cushion ahead of Liverpool and Brighton. We played Liverpool twice. We haven't got to see them again. We've got Brighton at home. It's a to be confirmed fixture. Fancy us in that game. April is going to be make or break, which I'll get to in a minute. But Tottenham, with their current situation with Conte ranting and raving and coming out with absolute nonsense, they're all over the place. I mean, you look at it, 9 losses. You know, they've played 28 and they've lost 9. And they're still top 4. You know, their goal difference is 12, which is good. But with the amount of goals that Kane scores is not amazing. We've got 20. Liverpool got 18. Obviously, 7 of them is bloody the Man U game. But we're in a good position. Like I said, we're only 2 points behind Tottenham Hotspur. We've got 2 games in hand. So, as I said, that's not necessarily 6 points, but that's 2 opportunities of getting 3 points. Even if we got 2 draws, that's not the end of the world, because our goal difference will be superior because we got much better defence. Right, so I'm going to rattle through. Spurs, April, 6 games to play. So come the end of this little round, come the end of April, Spurs will have played 34 games. There are 4 games of the season remaining. So 3rd of April, Everton away. 8th of April, Brighton at home. Now, crucially, quickly, in April, Spurs play each of the 3 teams below them. Okay, so they play Brighton at home, they play us away, and they play Liverpool at Anfield. So anyway, 3rd of April, Everton. Brighton on the 8th of April. Bournemouth on the 15th at home. Newcastle at St James's Park on the 23rd of April. Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm just going to call it White Hart Lane because I don't know what it's called properly. At home on the 27th. And they're playing Liverpool at Anfield on the 30th. So, you look at that. They play, I don't know where Everton and Bournemouth are, but they play Brighton, who are in 7th. They play us, who are currently in 5th. They play Manchester United, who are in 3rd, and Liverpool, who are in 6th. So, 4 of their main rivals for keeping Brighton, Newcastle, and Liverpool below, but also trying to clamber up towards Manchester United. They play all of them. And let's just have a quick look. 2 games at home, 2 games away. Right, so Newcastle United. So, like I said, we're currently on 26 games played. We've got 7 games in April, which will leave us on 33 with 5 to play in May. Looking at this worries me. April is going to be make or break because we just have so many games within a tight period. It's like we have 3 in a week. Then the next 2 are spaced out nicely. Or the next 2 are spaced out, and then it's 3 in a week again. So we've got Manchester United at home on the 2nd of April. I cannot wait for that game. West Ham away on the 5th. 3 days later, we fly to London. Brentford away on the 8th. Villa away on the 15th. Spurs at home on the 23rd. Everton away on the 27th. Southampton at home on the 30th. So what are the 2 key things in that fixture list? Was 3 really. It's 7 games in 4 weeks. The first key is Manchester United, West Ham, Brentford, 2nd, 5th, 8th. So in 1 week we've got 3 games, 2 of them away. Okay, then we've got a week off. Well, a week between Brentford on the 8th, Villa on the 15th. Then we've got 8 days between the 15th and the 23rd. And then from the 23rd to the 30th, we've got another 3-game block in a week. So we've got 3 games in 1 week. Next 2 weeks, we've only got 2. Then we've got another 3 games. Next 2 weeks, we've only got 1. Then we've got another 3 games. So it's fixture congestion, but also away, away, away. So just from a logistical standpoint, playing Man United at home on the 2nd, brilliant. Then we've got 3 days later, West Ham away. Then we've got Brentford away 3 days later. Are we going to fly back up to Newcastle to then fly back down again a day later? I mean, I've flown up to Newcastle to watch a game on a Friday afternoon, watched it on a Friday night, and then flown back the Saturday morning. But that's a different thing. From Exeter as well, but that's a different thing. So yeah, it's the 3 away games: West Ham, Brentford, Villa. Not easy games. I know West Ham are struggling a bit, but they're a good team. They got a cracking set of players there. They just need to click. Brentford are up in 8th, I believe, and Villa. I don't like Villa, but that's always a difficult game. You know, there's no. I know we beat them 4-0 at home, but there's no guarantees we're going to win that game. Right, onward. Let's talk about the other two, and then I'll go back to Newcastle. Liverpool in April, same as us, 7 games. Leaving them on 33 games after the completion. So they've got this similar problem that we have in terms of fixture congestion. You'll see it now. City away on the 1st of April. Chelsea away on the 4th. Arsenal at home on the 9th. Leeds away on the 17th. Forest at home on the 22nd. West Ham away on the 26th. Spurs at home on the 30th. So, few things to consider here. Firstly, similar to us, the first 3 games are, well, just over a week. From the 1st to the 9th, they got 3 games. Okay, and it's travelling as well. They got to travel to Manchester on the 1st, down to London for the 4th, and then they're back up to Liverpool on the 9th. Then they got a nice 8-day break before the Leeds game, then a week before the Forest game, and then it's 4 days later, West Ham away. 4 days later, Spurs at home. Okay, but not just that. They play. They could have a big say in the title race. You've got City at the City Ground, and they got Arsenal at home. But also their destiny's in their own hands because they play Tottenham. In terms of top 4, the race for the top 4, Liverpool's only shot at one of their rivals is Spurs at home. Out of 7 games. I mean, Chelsea could be on the come up. I've not really covered Chelsea, although they're going to go on a run at some point. It's inevitable. But yeah, they got Spurs at Anfield on the 30th, and I think that could be, looking at Tottenham's fixture list of having to play Brighton on the 8th of April, having to play us on the 23rd, Man United on the 27th, and then Liverpool at Anfield on the 30th. April's going to be make or break for Tottenham Hotspur, and I think you could see them either solidify 4th place with a good gap over 5th, or completely fall away by the end of the month. Who knows? Right, Brighton. So they're currently on 25 games. They've only got 6 in April, which leaves them with 31 games, and that leaves them with 7 to play in May. They got 2 to be confirmed fixtures. I saw City at home and us away at some point in May, obviously. Right. So they've got Brentford at home on the 1st of April, Bournemouth away on the 4th, Spurs away on the 8th, Chelsea away on the 15th, Forest away on the 26th, and Wolves at home on the 29th. So yeah, first 8 days of April, they've got 3 games. Then they've got a nice week before Chelsea. Then they've got 11 days. I'll have to double check that because there should be a fixture in between those. They've got 11 days between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. Then they've got 3 days before Wolves. So the main thing there is, I will double check that because that doesn't look right. But 4 away games on the trot. That's heavy. I know we did that, I think, last season. But we've got 3. They've got Bournemouth, Tottenham, Chelsea, Forest. The only saving grace is Bournemouth. It's not far from Brighton. Spurs and Chelsea, both London. Again, not far from Brighton. Forest, a bit of a trek. But it's not like from Newcastle going down to Southampton. Bournemouth, like in London twice. You know, it's not that bad. But yeah, they get a shot at Spurs. Everyone in this month gets a shot at Tottenham and take it, because all 4 teams, realistically, all 4 managers, Eddie Howe wouldn't say it publicly, but they want that 4th spot, and all 3 contenders get a shot at the current holders of the 4th spot in April. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. I do worry done with Liverpool, Spurs and Brighton now. I do worry about our month. If we play to our potential, how many teams can beat us? You know, we beat Spurs at their place when we were flying in October. I think it was October, I'm sure it was. We can beat Everton. It'll be difficult. We can definitely deal with Southampton at home. We can beat Villa away. We can beat Brentford away. We can beat West Ham away. Man United at home, I think a draw would be a decent result there because they are good. Although no Casemiro, and apparently is Marcus Rashford injured? I'm not sure. We look at our injuries. I don't know the extent of Miggy. I don't think it's serious. It was just enough to keep him out of the squad for that Forest game. Gordon should be back for the Man United game, although I don't think he'll start. Joe Linton's back off his ban. Who else? You look through the team. Pope's fine. Obviously, barring injury against Ukraine on Sunday. No idea when it is. I don't watch England games, really. Burns fine. Cher's fine. Botman's sent home with illness, but obviously our next game is, where are we? The 2nd of April, which is what, next Sunday. He should be all right by then. Trippier is fine at the moment. Joe Linton's fit. Bruno's fit. Sean's fit. Willock's fit. Maxie's fit. Miggy, don't know. As I said, Isak's fit currently. Wilson's fit currently. Gordon will be back, but not to start. So it's probably going to be... It's going to be Miggy or Murphy on one side, Maxie probably on the other. Obviously, Elliot Anderson fit. And then Isak through the middle, hopefully. But we shall see. It's just a lot of games. Look at that, and that's like... That's heavy. Yeah. What do you think? Is top 4 imperative? Am I chatting at my ass? I don't know. I would love for us to get top 4, as I've said. Have I got a fucking wing eye? I mean, it's what? It's 8:15. I've been up since fucking 6 and the kids were up last night. Had a productive morning. Lines on a weekend go out the window when you've got kids. I'd love us to get Champions League. I just think if we get Champions League, we're going to have to work extremely hard in the summer. If we can go hell for leather and spend a bit of money, so be it. Bring in the likes of, I mean, there's a lot of chat about McTominay, but I think someone like Maddison is imperative. I think probably another winger. I know we got Gordon, but a creative midfielder. Yeah, there's things that need to be fixed. You know, we've got cover at right back. We're probably, I think Jamal Lascelles is probably going to move on, so we might be looking at another centre half to challenge Fabian Schär for that right hand side. And we need to bolster. It's more. The question is, do you buy players for the bench, or do you buy players to challenge the guys starting and push them onto the bench? So, for example, take for that Fabian Schär example, are we going to look at a young, cheap centre half who's more than capable of competing, but to go on the bench to back up Schär, who is an improvement on Jamal Lascelles or somebody like that? Because I think Jamal deserves to leave if he gets the opportunity, because he's been such a good character for us the last couple of years, well, his whole time, particularly the last couple of years when he's not played. When he does play, he does really well, and he's never moaned, or it's never come out that he's moaned once. He's never said anything bad. He's never he's doing his bit, you know. So if he gets a call from Forest or someone like that to go back and says, look, Gaffer, I need minutes now, there should be nothing standing in his way. I'm not saying we should usher him out the door, you know, but let him do what he wants because he deserves it. But yeah, do we get someone to replace our bench players, or are we going to push our starting 11 onto the bench and strengthen that way? I don't know. But we need to have a big summer if we get 4th. If we get fourth, it'll be unbelievable, but it'll be almost a bit like, right, now we've got to prepare. Now we've got to prepare. It's a bit like, you know, talking the big end in a job interview, not thinking you're going to get it, and then you get it, and you're like, ah, shit, I got to back it up now. But yeah, it'd be incredible to see them in that Champions League draw. Unbelievable. Yeah, Scott McTominay. Do I think he's a bad player? No. I mean, what was it they say? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Man United aren't playing him. Could Eddie Howe do something with him? Probably. Will he improve our starting 11? No. Is he better than Sean Longstaff? It's not a lot in it. I'd probably take Sean, to be honest, because Sean's flying at the minute, full of confidence. Is he that creative midfielder that we're looking for, a la James Maddison? No. I don't really see the benefit, to be honest. How much are they going to want for him? If they're probably going to want 20 million for him, aren't they, in today's market? If we got a strict budget, say if we've got, I say strict, 100 mil budget, back in the Mike Ashley days, what would we have done for 100 million budget, eh? Say if we've got 100 mil. That's a fifth gone on a player who's not going to improve anything. He'll improve our bench, potentially, because... Well, no, he wouldn't. Because we play with 3 midfielders. If Sean's on the bench, he ain't better than him. If Joe Willock's on the bench, he ain't better than him. If Joe Lenton's on the bench, he ain't better than him. And Bruno's not on the bench, so... I don't see the point in that. There's all sorts... I'm going to do some more digging about rumours and whatnot. I know there's that Napoli striker that is doing really well. People are raving about. Obviously, Diaby for Bayer Leverkusen still knocking about. Could we go back in for Ugo Ekitike? Because he's not pulled up any trees at PSG. They might want to offload him. I don't know. But yeah, mad times this. Mad times. We're doing really well. I think we can get fourth if we come out of April unscathed. If we get 7 games, if we win 4, draw 3. Now, if we win 4 of those games, I think we'll be on course. Obviously, we could do with the games we don't win, drawing, not losing, obviously. Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Fucking hell. This team, man, it's unbelievable. I'm still trying to get my head around, you know, we're going for 4th place. Not 4th from bottom, 4th from top. It's mad. Right, I'm going to wrap it up. 28 minutes. I've been waffling on far too long. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's going to help out. And yeah, leave in the comments anything you want to talk about. If you disagree, agree, anything I've missed. Brighton, have I missed out a Brighton game? It's got to be in there because they got 11 days. Yeah, 11 days off. Please like, comment, subscribe, etc. Cheers. See you later.